All right, welcome back to the Artist Connection podcast. This is Matt Kasar here with my very special returning guest and good friend, Jade Starling. Welcome, Jade.
Hey, Matt. Great to be back.
Yeah, it's been
How's
since
your
May.
summer going?
Oh, my summer's going great. We haven't spoken in about just over 2 years, so having you back is really exciting.
Oh, thank you. It's great to be back.
And
Always a pleasure.
The funny thing for me is, you know how Facebook gives you the reminder of what you were doing last year or 2 years ago at this time on this day? When I woke up, your picture was on there because I did like a flashback Friday or whatever it was to when you were first on. So here you are again. So that's cool.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Well, back and ready to take on the world, of course.
Nice. Yeah, summer's going great. It's going way too fast. We're already in August, but I'm always out and about with my family and trying to show my kids all sides of the world. We go up to New York City a lot. We go to Philly. We go to concerts. We do all kinds of things. So it's going really well.
I follow you, too, and I see that you're an avid art lover. And
Absolutely.
you like to take in the sights. I think
Yeah.
it's awesome to take your family and expose them to the incredible resources that we have.
Really, yeah. I grew up doing a lot of that alone by myself. I would go out and go on these different adventures. So the fact that I now have kids to show these things to and to talk about the old days, and things are very different. I mean, New York City is a very different place than it was in the early 80s, but it's still a lot of fun. Just a little more family friendly.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, a lot of my family's from New York, so I always love going back to New York. As a matter of fact, I was in Queens, New York this past Friday. I had an amazing show at the 360 bar in Resorts World Casino.
Oh.
And that was the night that we debuted the lyric video, which is the first video coming for the new single, Party to Life, which you and I were just talking about offline.
Right.
The official video is coming in a couple weeks, and we were fortunate enough to be the featured artist on a KTU float in New York City for their Pride March just a few weeks ago. I believe it was the 24th of June.
Right, yeah.
2 million people, Matt.
Wow.
2 million people. So I ended up performing the song maybe a dozen times along the parade route to just a spectacular, breathtaking amount of people and just the enthusiasm and the excitement. And, gay pride is not just for the LGBT community. It's for everyone to celebrate, and it was just a huge get-together, and 2 million people being peaceful and loving. I mean, it was a sight to behold, and I feel so fortunate to have been a part of history. It was the largest gathering for a Pride celebration in history.
That's exciting.
So, oh yeah, it really, really was. And that video will be coming in another week or so. We're very excited about that. And just a few blocks away from me that day was Hillary Clinton.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, wow, I feel pretty important. This is a historic day.
You made a really good point there when you said it's not just about the LGBT community or whoever, and I think that's what people miss and lose sight of a lot of times when you hear, a lot of times when you hear Black Lives Matter, and then the retort is immediately all lives matter or blue lives matter, meaning the cops. It's like, but you're missing the point. The point is the fact that even if you're not a part of that community, the fact that they have the freedom to celebrate openly and not be persecuted or whatever is huge, and that's something that we all celebrate in. I mean, that's something that you and your own community can celebrate in and have other people share as well. So it's not like a behind the door or in the closet, or only because you're black you can celebrate certain things. It's for everybody.
Well, that's the beauty of living in this country.
Yep, I agree.
Freedom of speech, and we are offered all these beautiful resources at our fingertips, and the freedom to exploit them in ways that we, can appreciate. And I think it was just an amazing show of, unity.
Right.
And my new song, Party to Life, is exactly that. It's a celebration of life, and what I always wanted to do was promote solidarity, unity, love, and it's important to get back to things that are simple and basic as loving one another, respecting one another. And we've gotten so far away from that. And as great a year as it's been a very sad and somber year on on many levels, because the violence has gotten so out of hand. And when it affects a peaceful community like the LGBT community,
Right.
who bring nothing but peace and love, it's just something has got to give here. Um, the weekend that the the murders and the shootout happened in Orlando at Pulse, which, by the way, I played Pulse nightclub, so
Oh,
this is
have you?
a
So
very,
you're well aware of it.
very unnerving, very
I
unnerving.
bet.
Um, we were at the D.C. Pride that weekend. I was performing at the D.C. Eagle for Capitol Pride, and as we were coming back, I was there on the Saturday night when it happened, and then Sunday we were driving back to do the Gay Pride in Philadelphia with Deborah Cox. And about 6 a.m. in the morning, I'm listening to the radio, and I hear about the shooting in Orlando at Pulse nightclub, and right away I start texting people to make sure people are okay. And I have a DJ friend that usually works there on Saturday night and just happened to be off this past weekend, so thank God he was okay. So I'm coming off this beautiful celebration where we had just shot the lyric video and very upbeat, and everyone was just in the celebratory mood, and then to find out 49 people have been shot, and many of them were killed. And people were being tortured while I'm out doing a performance. It just broke my heart into pieces. So a couple weeks later, when I did the New York Pride, I was pleasantly surprised to see the well-behaved demeanor of the crowd.
Good.
It's 2 million people.
That's a lot of people to control or to hope that are under control, especially when you're out there in front of them.
Absolutely, where anyone could just take a shot.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's true.
You're talking about snipers that shot, a dozen police officers in Chicago, not long after that,
Yeah.
just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why the violence has just become the norm when, you got police officers that obviously are here to protect, serve and protect.
Right.
That's their duty. And they die for us. Their lives are taken in a nanosecond because they're trying to protect the people, we the people. So I don't get it. I'm not naive, but I just don't understand the surge of unnecessary violence.
No,
it's always been there. I mean, I'm not trying to say it hasn't, but just the fact that, we're living in such a violent, volatile world just goes off at any moment. And you just don't know. You just have to walk, with eyes in the back of your head and looking over your shoulder. It shouldn't be that way. We have so many wonderful things to celebrate, especially living in the USA.
Right.
We've got all this freedom, and it's all being sniped out before our very eyes.
Well, you and I came up in a time before the internet, and I know we both have benefited from not only the amount of contact you can make with people, strangers essentially, but people that enjoy what you're doing, which is unparalleled to anything that we could have ever imagined in the early 80s or mid 80s. I mean, that this kind of reach is just insane. And I think the only downside of it, though, is you're hit with so much information all the time